would discuss with you a brief of digital marketing. I hope like everybody is seeing this PPT.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let me just give you a brief idea. Like, we are living in a super connected world where advertising and marketing are not the top leaders in marketing world as they were once. And this is true that the rise of digital and social media has made us to learn as how businesses communicate with potential and existing clients. So this is very true. Like these days, like previously when we would use the advertising and marketing analysis and criteria and strategies over that time, so days were gone of those technologies. Now these are the days of digital marketing technologies over there, which do have a lot of potential for existing clients also. What does exactly digital marketing is, and what does it encompass basically? It's a collective term which is used where marketing meets internet technology and other forms of new media. It is a promotion of products or brand via one or more forms of electronic media. Digital marketing can be through internet channels like websites, social media, emails, display ads, and etc. And also via non-internet channels also, like TV, radio, and SMS. So these are a few very good channels which you can go for digital marketing. Website is a very good tool, of course. Whenever a business is launched, a good business, a strong business needs to have a website basically to promote and to have a presence in World Wide Web and in internet also. So when people are coming to internet, they would definitely find your website if your keywords are strong, if your website is strong. To people, whenever they are typing the keywords, your website will be on top positions in Google, so that customer go through your presence of business, a business presence. This is what social media, of course, is a great tool for everybody, because most of the people, especially young age people, do use social media channels a lot. Facebook being a very good tool to have a digital marketing concept over there. Emails, which is a very good tool of viral marketing, and low spending can really make it up a boon for getting a high ROI, for getting a really good presence for you. It's a great tool for you. Display ads, of course, whenever you are going to any of the websites internet which follows a Google policy. I would tell you later on in detail, but just a brief I would be telling you. It's a great concept, display advertising. You might have seen in IBN, Ashtak, or other websites, the flashy ads over there, the banner ads over there. Non-internet channels, of course, you might be seeing the TV ads at the bottom right, depending upon the channels and other things. Radio, whenever you go and traveling or having a travel in your cars, cab, you would definitely listen the radio channels over there. So in between, you would have heard a lot of ads. So that's being a tale of digital marketing. SMS, of course, it's being a great tool for you. A very good tool, because people, whoever is using a mobile phone in these days, so whenever the SMSs are coming in terms of promotional or a transactional SMS, people do at least one time they read the SMS, because they would think whether this is SMS is important for me or not. So once if they would, he or she, customer would read the SMS, they would definitely get the proper information, whether it would be a promotional thing or a transactional thing. Proceeding further, I would tell you what is the need and how is the digital marketing built up, infrastructure kind of thing. So why we are using digital marketing, as I told you earlier also, so little bit brief points which I calculated for you, for all of you. It is a perfect electronic medium to interact with all users. Definitely it's electronic medium, because gone are the days of print media, gone are the days of radio channels. Now it's being electronic media. Everything is on the fingertips only. You won't have to go anywhere. Just use your mobile phones or laptops or tablets and go and browse anything in this digital marketing world over there. You can interact with your users also. A medium of leads and business generation, of course. An easiest way of viral marketing across the globe. You can use emailers, SMS, newsletters, or the word of mouth also of yours, which is a viral marketing concept. It is a convenient platform to get updated about various news across the world. When you would be using the newspapers, you would have to first uplift the newspaper in your hand, then sit on a sofa, chair, or whichever the medium it might be, whichever the platform it might be. Then you would read it. It's quite difficult for you. It's time taking also. But when this digital marketing comes on your fingertips itself, you would be getting updated about various news across the world. It's cheap and time saving also. Now, how the infrastructure is of digital marketing. Few technical terms in front of you. In further sessions, I would definitely elaborate all of these topics one by one. But let's have a brief, first of all, of the infrastructure of digital marketing. Search engine optimization, pay-per-click, affiliate marketing, third-party display ads, online press releases and blogging, social media marketing, A/B and multivariate testing. This is basically for Google AdWords. Product remarketing, you can do it. Mobile and video advertising, which is of course a good thing for you. CRM and reputation management, which is the tail. After having a business, you can do it. TV and radio marketing. Of course, it's a costly part depending upon the business to business. Email and SMS marketing, a good thing, which you can spend less money and gain high ROI, return on investment for your product or a business. Now, what is scope and current market scenario of digital marketing? Let's consider this very first graph. So I have taken an analysis from 2005 till 2015 December. You are seeing continuously this graph is increasing, and there is a not only marginal growth but a drastic growth, which is in millions for worldwide internet users. I can say I do have an analysis also where people use a lot of internet and they are growing day by day. So this graph really states how the world is going to be digitalized, and in further days this would really increase in a constant level also. Second graph, which is showing worldwide mobile apps trend over here. Look at when when very less people are using BlackBerry than Amazon app, then Windows in middle of the session, Windows almost gone, but now since about few days, 1 or 2 months, Windows again launched the Nokia phones over there. So might be there would be a trend for Windows application also in incoming days, basically. Apple, of course, last year there was a lot of boom when iPhone 5s, 6s and a lot of technologies Apple launched in there. They even made a lot of changes in their Apple developer console in applications. So a lot of things, people do have craze. In fact, they would think themselves why to go for Android mobiles? It's a passion, it's a luxury kind of thing also, a fame kind of thing when people would be using a iPhone. So there is a lot of boom. So almost you can see it's equivalent to your Android. But in incoming days, definitely Android would do have a competition with this Apple and would launch a lot of good technologies as compared with Apple also. Android being always a top leader in terms of mobile apps market since 2015. You can see till 2015 it's being a graph taken from daysinfo.com. So now what does this graph states about? The growth rate mentioned in above graphs are not only going to be stagnant in the coming years. We have seen a great revolution in past few years, whether it is advertising, promotion or sales. And it is obvious, we have seen a lot of changes in advertising, promotion or sales, whichever it might be. But the graph itself states there is a stagnant growth in coming years, and this would continue because world is going to be digitalized. The way people are getting smartphones and tablets for anything and everything, it is apparent that demand for digital marketers will only increase in the coming time, which is obviously true as seen in this above graph. Scope for digital marketers will only get bigger and bigger in the years to come. So guys, I would tell you this is very a good thing for you if you would choose and opt this platform of digital marketing for you. because in incoming year there is lot of boom and lot of scope in every industry. Whenever you would be searching a career, whenever you would be searching a job, everything, even Grameen banks are going to be digitalized. So it's a very good thing for you if you achieve this platform. Coming further, I would tell you like a synopsis of two major things, two big tools of digital marketing, which is Google AdWords and Analytics. In a simple way, let's continue with AdWords first of all. In a simple way, AdWords is an advertising method where someone advertising will pay every time a visitor clicks on your advert. Advert is basically an ad, which is generally seen on the Google. Like whenever you are coming to Google or Yahoo or Bing, any of the platform. Let's first of all talk about Google itself. Whenever you would be coming to Google and type some keyword over there, flat in Hyderabad, or TV, buy online a TV, or buy Samsung HJF260, a code basically of a TV in Google, then you would get ideas over there in some different colors. What are those? Those are basically the Google AdWords ad over there. Those are the AdWords of Google AdWords. AdWords in the sense ads, top and right hand side. So it is an advertising method when somebody clicks on those ads for the advertiser, and advertiser would only pay whenever some customer comes on the ad and click on that ad particularly for every visit. Web pages from Google and from partner websites are designed to allow Google to select and display this kind of advertising. It can only be possible when there are Google partners website or the websites which are following the Google policies, like the websites who are using the Google AdSense or Google DSP ads over there, or some Google third-party ads or third-party partners over there. Those websites only can follow these Google AdWords ad over there. You can place your ads on those websites itself. You can use AdWords to bring targeted traffic to your website by creating ads and choosing keywords related to your business. AdWords will then place your ads on Google when people search for your specified keywords. What does this mean? This means basically if you do have any kind of targeted audience, you can directly target your audience, you can precise your traffic, you can precise your audience via this particular tool. Placing your ads on Google when people are searching for a specific keyword with a specific timing, with a specific schedule, with a specific platform, city-wise, country-wide, anything, you can do it with this tool particularly. It is a very effective tool, a very effective kind of online marketing tool, which was released in 23rd October 2000. And millions of business users around the world are also using this Google AdWords tool. Then comes your Google Analytics. It is, of course, a fantastic tool which is launched in November 2005. And why it is launched? To analyze the visitors of the website, or to analyze your Google AdWords ad also. You can do anything. Like previously, there was no linking of Google Analytics with your Google AdWords. Now, since 2 years, when they have given a platform for linking and checking how your ads are performing, they have given a platform, a linking to Google AdWords basically. You can get a precise and a brief, detailed scenario for your visitors or website in Google Analytics itself. It's a fantastic tool. Once I would drive you through another sessions, I would definitely brief you out about Google Analytics in detail. You can find out all sorts of information on things like traffic sources, where your traffic is coming, where your customers are coming from, like which countries, cities, are any customers live right now, which cities the customers are live right now, real-time live visitors also you can check it. Traffic sources, for example, which sites have referred traffic through to your site, which of your social media channels are bringing visitors directly to your website, which social media channels are performing well, which keywords are ranking on Google, which keywords are not ranking well on Google, and as a result are sending you through traffic and so on. So there are multiple kind of things which you can do through this tool basically. In addition to traffic breakdown, interpretation of Google Analytics can also show you how visitors are engaging with your site by reporting on key areas such as your top content. Definitely, like if you do have some of the top content in a website, you would be able to check at least which content is particularly working fine, which content page is not working, which page is performing fine, which page is not working fine. uh, your top content, which shows the most popular pages of your site, new versus returning visitors over a specified periods of time. What does this mean? This means new visitors who are totally new to our websites. They are also coming because they are the customers who are visiting our website very first time basically, and returning visitors also who once came to our website previously or long back ago. They are again and again visiting to our website, or they are coming second time, third time. So those are the returning visitors. So this tool can tell you detailed about new as well as returning visitors. The length of time spent on your website, customers who are spending the time on your website, total navigation of the pages, like customer first gone to your home page, then after home page he chosen something else, he navigated to some other pages, then he directed to some other page in search of some other information. All that kind of information you can find and get a brief in this tool. Much more to go ahead, but in another sessions. Coming further, I would tell you what is social media marketing. Just a small brief. Social media marketing is a process of gaining attention of readers or website traffic through social media sites. So it's been an excellent tool. Like nowadays, when almost people do have a craze in their fingertips to use Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, video. So it's a great tool to have a look on social media marketing. Advertisers do prefer social media marketing on social media channels because they knew, like most of the visitors would definitely be engaged via this platform itself. Social media allows businesses to easily field customers, comments, questions, and concerns instantly. Of course, whenever somebody is having a query, he sees a business, a website, or a product or a category to be listed in Facebook over there, he goes there and comments over there for a particular page, whether it would be a page, whether it would be a business or a product listed in Facebook. You might have seen, like whenever you like any of the page in Facebook, you would see the news feeds in your profile for that particular product. Then you would be able to comment, you would be able to follow that particular post. So it's quite easy for you to basically follow that particular product. If you do have complaints also about that particular product, like suppose Samsung, if you follow the Samsung page in Facebook, or if you even not follow, you can directly link with that Samsung page and directly go to the Samsung page and then comment positive or negative, whichever as per your complaint it might be. And you get replies also, because that particular business would also not want negative complaints over there in their pages. So it's quite a boon for you, directly a direct interaction with the companies. It's a great tool for the consumers. The resulting electronic word of mouth consumers share via the internet, example websites, social networks, instant messages, news feeds, about an event, product, service or brand, especially on social media platforms. So this is the resulting kind of electronic word of mouth, where customers share their views via internet, via social platforms, via instant messages, commentings, or any kind of news feeds about their brands or products in social media platforms. Some of the major social media platforms, as you might have heard about, Facebook also, Twitter, Pinterest. Of course, very few people know, but in next sessions I would be telling you like what is Pinterest, Google Plus, LinkedIn, of course, a great professional social networking site. YouTube, of course, like if you would have seen, like a lot of videos you might have seen in YouTube. So it's being a good video marketing and video advertising kind of channel. Now comes to a graph. I illustrated basically some interesting facts about social media platform. Very few people might be knowing about these channels. Most of the people might have seen Facebook and used also. It's the amongst top leader, achieving more than 1 million users worldwide for Facebook. The social media network has been ranked by number of active users in this graph. And Facebook is the top market leader to surpass 1 billion registered users account as of 2015. And this data can increase also, because in incoming days there might be a lot of users of Facebook, because everybody is these days when Facebook is launching new applications, new versions, and new technologies. So it is enchanting and engaging with their customers a lot, basically. Second is QQ. QQ is basically a Chinese chat messenger, which acquires the second position. It's a Chinese chat messenger. Chinese are always such kind of people who have banned Google also, who have banned for some time Facebook also, and WhatsApp also being banned in China. So they use basically QQ, a chat messenger over there, because the Chinese government do have their own policies and own fundas over there. WhatsApp achieved the third position with 700 million users due to its continuously increasing usage. These days, like when people are using Facebook, they use WhatsApp also. So you can see like how much the crave of WhatsApp these days, when you would be having information, messages, any images you instantly share with WhatsApp. Qphone is a social networking site used in China, which obtains the fourth position over here. The graph states that most of the users spend their time using chat messengers over here, which of course tells you like how much social media platforms are present and engaged with the customers over here. How much the customers are engaged with these social media platforms. So there is a lot of craze of social media marketing, social media platforms over here. Some other social networking sites like blogging sites and other social networking sites are LinkedIn, Google+, Instagram, Tumblr. These also are used by the most of the customers basically. Now let me tell you, I've already explained you, I already given you a brief about Google AdWords and analytics. Now I would tell you what is how to design the campaigns in Google AdWords. There are 7 useful tips for a successful AdWords campaign. How to build a campaign basically. If your business wants a precise kind of goal, a precise kind of a good kind of ROI, then a business needs to use Google AdWords campaign for their product. What are those tips? I would define you one by one. Have a clear goal and keeping the target customer in mind. The most important part of any AdWords campaign is to have a clear goal in mind which connects buyers and sellers. Also, make sure your ads will attract the attention of your audience. Try to include a call to action so that it can end up with a conversation of a product. What does this mean? This means always have a clear goal idea in your mind. Suppose you are in a FMCG industry. Let's take an instant for beverage market, Coca-Cola. So for about Mirinda, when you say Mirinda, so Mirinda, though it's being a very low marketed product, less people use Mirinda. So if you know your competitors for Mirinda, like Pepsi, Thums Up, I'm just taking an example, though all products are of one company itself. Example of Thums Up, Pepsi, Coke, all these competitors, you might have an idea what these competitors are doing about in internet. Grasping all the knowledge, prepare a sheet, prepare a mind also, what goal you need to set it about, what marketing strategy you would be doing, you would be going for, and make attention kind of note for your audience also. And always try to include a call to action for your product, because if you won't include that call to action to your product, then the customers who are coming to see your ads in Google, they might get diverted. They might get diverted because they might have not seen that particular call to action. I given an example of Mirinda. So what shall it be? Mirinda, a high calorie based beverage, drink it now. So what I suffix, what I added as a suffix is a drink it now. Now is itself a keyword which is pretending something as a call to action. Drink it now. It's tending. It's basically forcing a customer to convert it, to basically drink it, to change their minds basically. So this is what the power of call to action. Having a clear-cut goal and keeping a target customer in mind and including the call to action. This is a very good strategy, initial strategy for preparing a Google AdWords campaign. Second is don't mislead customers and use negative keywords. What does this mean? Never misleads your customer. In the sense, whenever you are preparing your campaign, whenever you are preparing your ads in Google or any search engine, let's take an instance for Google. So the content which you are mentioning in your ad must follow the guidelines of your landing page, must follow the guidelines of your website landing page or the ad copy. Suppose for Mirinda, as I told you an example, Mirinda itself a beverage. You do have an idea, basically people are coming to drink Mirinda itself. So that's a funda. If you are saying something else for Mirinda, for example, if you say, come and get an entertainment for Mirinda. So this is what misleading the customer. People would be confused. Customers would be confused. What it's saying basically. So they would click, but it's a waste click. Even customers would be diverted. It's totally diverted and it's a waste of click for you also. If some of the customers would click, it's a waste of money for you. And even most of the customers who are coming from Mirinda, they won't click on that because they just want the proper information as what they are thinking in their mind. So always use the leading, the precise content and the informative content which is related to your landing page and your campaign basically. The ads need to be entirely accurate for the landing page. Each ad group must be relevant to the landing page that you are prompting to, and it must be displayed for relevant queries only. People who are typing Mirinda related queries, people who are typing flats related queries, people who are typing any query, our ad must be shown because our ad must be related to those queries itself. And it is our strategy how to basically make a particular campaign, particular ad copy relevant to those queries of our customers. It totally depends on us. Excluding the negative keywords which are not relevant to your business or product is a good thought. So always use negative keywords to save the waste clicks. What is that? This is basically, suppose Mirinda. Some people can come for Mirinda also. Some people can come for Mirin. Some people can come for random. Some people are searching porn. Some people are searching for TV, Samsung, electronic, Hyundai, or any of the thing. So might be there are chances your ad would appear on top or right hand side positions over there. So why to waste money? Why you are showing those ads for irrelevant queries of customers? They are searching something else and your queries, your ads are coming over there. So this is totally a negative campaign for you. So always use negative keywords like porn, sex, Samsung, Hyundai, or any keyword which is coming to your mind which is not relevant to your landing page, which is not relevant to your campaign, which is not relevant to your ad copy basically. Insert only those keywords in your campaign which is relevant to your ad and exclude those keywords which are not related to your campaign. You can use the negative keywords. You can frame it as a negative keywords and that is given in your interface of Google AdWords itself. Briefly, I would have briefly explained in detail once after a few sessions basically. Third is targeting ads, implementing the keywords targeting, exact match, phrase match, broad match based on your need and business requirement. These three keywords I would briefly I would explain you in detail. Don't ignore mobile users and always try to test landing pages. Never ignore the mobile users, because these days when mobile is a craze for people's, days and days, peoples are getting low peoples are using desktop. In fact, more peoples are engaged with the mobile phones when they're working. Either they are working in their offices or in home or any other place, they use basically mobile phones. So mobile users should not be ignored. We can target mobile users also. We can advertise in mobile devices also. And always try to test the landing pages. If suppose your landing page is not working for a particular campaign, you should test and test and test and test the landing pages until you benefit from that particular landing page, depending upon the campaign keywords. So there are a lot of things I would tell you in detail: how landing pages should be made, how it would be benefit, how to change the landing page, how to test the landing page. Would tell you in detail. Then fifth point is display network and remarketing. It's a great tool for you. When your Google search, after Google search, if you want to do something extra, to gain some more ROI or to really achieve further for your business, for a product, go for display network advertising. If you want your customer to see your ads not only in Google search but also in other websites, then go for advertising in display portals. What are display portals? Display portals are basically the display websites. When you go to any of the website, you might have seen the display clashy ads over there, the banner ads. Those are basically what? Those are basically the Google AdWords ad over there. Not only banner ads, but in fact the search ads also. Some coloring ads can be there, some light blue color might be there. So those ads are basically the sponsored listings of Google display campaigns. Some people hide the background color also of Google display network ads over there. While remarketing can be explained via an example. Suppose a customer sees your ad in some website and won't convert at that time for some reasons. Then coming after a few days, he again sees the same ad in some other website. Then the ad that then turns him to convert or purchase a product, as it was the most desired one that time. What does this mean? Let me elaborate in detail basically. You might have seen the e-commerce website, Snapdeal, Flipkart, Myntra.com, Jabang.com. These businesses are much more prevalent to use the remarketing campaigns. How they use it? Suppose you come to buy, today you came to buy a belly or a shoe basically, which you've seen it today, and you liked it very much. But for some of the reason, you ignored it. There was something in your mind that, okay, I would buy after some day, or okay, I would buy after some time. Then you switch off your computer and go off, you do have some other work to do it. After 2 days or after 1 day or after 3 days or even after a week, you come again and search Jabang.com or any of the related website. You were shocked to see the same ad you were seeing almost 3 days ago. So definitely it would convert and force your mind to again buy and go for that product. Now this time, second time, when you see this ad, you click on the ad basically by forcing your mind and changing your mind and thereby having a conversion. So it's a great strategy for advertisers. Advertisers do use this technology basically a lot, and e-commerce industries are the most top leaders in this remarketing strategy. Now there is conversion tracking and monetization of campaign. If you really want to know that which keyword is performing to convert a business or a purchase of your product, use conversion tracking for your campaign. If you really want how campaigns are working, how your keywords are performing, how your ad copies are working, whether they are working fine or not, always use conversion tracking code, like how they are converting and how many conversions you are getting. So you need to monitor your campaigns also, because it would be really good for a strategy. Low budgets and getting more money. This is the strategy of conversion tracking and monetization of campaign. So I'm ending this session. Thank you and thanks a lot for joining with me. For any queries and anything, you can ask the questions in front of me.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, please, please. Who is
Yes,
this?
Abhinav, sir, Abhinav.
Yeah, hi, Abhinav, please.
Yes, sir, please go through our this ACAD-GIL PPT, sir, once. Different differences might be there.
Okay, just a moment. So this is continuing further. This is session 2, which is a basic terminology and basic terminologies and introduction and some further knowledge about pay-per-click. Let's initialize with impression. What is impression? It is the number of times your ad is displayed. The number by itself does not hold much value, but it is a metric used to calculate other metrics. Keep in mind that an impression does not mean that someone actually saw the ad. It just means that the ad was shown on a web page or an app. What is impression basically? Impression is just an ad, the number of time it's been shown in search engines or any of the portal basically. But it does not mean that it is something which is calculated in terms of any of the metrics. It is just the impression number of times the ad is shown either in Google or in the display portals basically. Reach. This is the number of unique people generally identified by cookies that were reached by your ad. This number is always lower than the impressions because your ad is generally shown to same person multiple times. What does this mean? This is the number of unique peoples basically. Like suppose thousands of people if they connected to a particular page or connected to a particular search engine, out of those 1000 people basically, if 100 people are reaching, so that means that's a particular reach for your ad, and that's being identified by cookies stored on your browsers. It is generally shown to same person only multiple times. This is the reach. Cost, the total cost of running the ad campaigns, engagement rate or interaction rate ad without leaving the ad unit or a widget. Engagement rate is the percentage of interactions per impression of the ad unit and is calculated as number of interactions divided by total impressions into 100%. In a layman language, we call it engagement rate. The customer which is engaging with our ad, the calculation depends on that particular formula, like number of interactions of the customer divided by total number of impressions of our ad which has been shown in Google search or Google display into 100% for the rate calculation. CPM, which is cost per 1000 impressions. This is the cost for 1000 impressions of the ad unit. Display advertising is generally sold on CPM basis. Initially, when Google AdWords was launched, basically they have launched only CPM module over there. Then they elaborated further, and then they launched CPC campaign, CPV campaigns also. Then what does that mean? Basically, cost per 1000 impressions. When your ad has been shown 1000 number of times, that is the basic cost which costs you for CPM module. Display advertising is generally sold on CPM basis only. What are clicks? Number of clicks on an ad unit that lead to a person leaving the ad unit. Keep in mind that a click does not mean that a person landed on the intended destination of a banner ad click. There are multiple factors that could lead to a click, but not a visit to the destination. What does that mean basically? See, clicks are totally dependent on platforms also. Number of click means like your ad has been shown in Google search or display platform. User or a customer comes, then hits on your ad. This is a click basically. When he clicks on an ad, when the customer clicks, you being made, your ad being costed, and you being charged for that particular click. But that does not mean a customer is clicking on the banner ad or customer is clicking on your ad. That totally depends. Numerous factors I will tell you in detail after some sessions. JavaScript also being the factor, tablets also. If somebody changed the server also, they can use the WIF, they can click on your ads multiple times. When somebody is changing the IP addresses or the fake servers if they would be using. There are a lot of fake servers and a lot of proxy servers also when some people might be clicking on base clicks over there. So I will tell you in detail. So clicks are basically the ad units that lead to a person leaving the ad unit basically. Whenever it being so, you would be charged for that. CTR, which is click-through rate. It is the number of clicks generated per impression of a banner ad. This number is expressed as a percentage. Number of clicks divided by number of impressions. And for percentage, of course, you would be multiplying it by 100. This is the CTR, click-through rate. CPC, which is cost per click. You also call it average cost per click basically. It is the cost that you pay for each click. You can easily convert the cost into cost per click to compare it against other channels such as paid search or paid search in search or paid search in display portals basically. Cost per click is the effective amount you paid to get a click. And what is the formula? Total number of the cost which you are obtaining for that particular keyword divided by clicks, number of clicks basically. Sometimes this number is also referred as ECPC, which is effective cost per click. Visits. As stated above, in the definition of clicks, not every click turns into a person landing on your destination. Visits measures the click that did end up your site. That is basically, of course, for conversion CPA based kind of module. You can most probably you can use for that particular module. I would definitely elaborate in further sessions. What is CPA? Visitors metric goes one step ahead of the visits and calculates the number of people who ended up on your site as a result of the clicks on the banner ads. It totally depends on the cookies. Again, whenever we do talk for the display portals, maximum number of things depends on the cookies level basically as stored in your browser. So visitors can also be calculated till the cookies are stored in your browser. Whenever you are deleting your cookies of a browser, that tracking would also be disabled. So the tracking has been enabled till the cookies has been stored in the browser. After that, there are no tracking enabled over there. Bounce rate. It is the percentage of visits that left without taking any actions on your site. It is calculated as bounce rate as number of visits with one page view divided by total number of visits resulting from the display ads. Bounce rate in the sense number of visits when number of customers with one page view, if they are coming and visiting to your particular landing page or something like that, it would be divided by total number of visits resulting from display ads. So this is the unique divided by total. This is the bounce rate basically. Who exited your landing pages or who exited your ad conversion rate ratios over there. This is the bounce rate basically. Engaged visit rate. Generally, this is opposite of bounce rate. Though you can have your own definitions of engagement, it measures the quality of the visits arriving from your display advertising. Like how the visitors are coming, what is the quality of visits, whether the visits are potential or not, or whether those are waste clicks. This is what the engaged visit rate is. How it is measured? 100 minus bounce rate expressed as percentage. Cost divided by engaged visit. This is the effective cost of each engaged visit. It is calculated as total cost divided by number of engaged visits basically, which means the total cost involved for the campaign divided by engaged visit. Engaged visit in the sense like whether the potential visits are not, whether the waste clicks are there, whether the waste conversions are there. This is the engaged visit basically. Page views or visits. Page views are the number of pages on your site viewed by each visit. You can have a glance for this page views in Google Analytics also. Whenever you would be linking the Google Analytics to your Google AdWords AdWords account, you can also have a glance for your visits and page views over there. With a lot of interaction happening on one single page, this metric is losing its value. However, for now, it is still a valuable metric for ad-supported sites. Cost per page view. As above, this is a valuable metric for ad-supported site to figure out the cost of generating extra page view. Conversion. Conversion is defined as the count of action that you want the visitors to take when they arrive from your ads. Some examples of conversions are like purchases, sign up for newsletters, any kind of download, a white paper, sign up for an event, lead from completions, or any kind of conversion of your product. So this is relevant when you do have any kind of e-commerce kind of thing. If you do have a product conversion, then you should use the CPA modulo further for that. But of course, for every campaign, there is conversion. Every campaign, there is a conversion basically. Conversion rate. This is the percentage of visits that resulted in the desired conversion actions. If you have more than one conversion action, then you should do this calculation for each one of the action as well as for all the combined actions. In case of leads, you can take it one step further and calculate not only the lead generation rate, but also lead conversion rate, which is leads that convert to a customer divided by total leads generated. That means the conversions for your, the conversion for your, suppose you received 10 conversions for your product and you received 1000 number of customers who visited your campaign, or the clicks basically, or the visits basically. So you can have the formula for this conversion rate, total number of conversions divided by total number of visits, and for rate you can add it, multiply it by 100. This is the formula of conversion rate. Cost per conversion. Like particularly per conversion, how much the total cost it's being counted for you. This is the cost per conversion. This is the total cost divided by the number of conversions achieved from visits via ads. Revenue. This is the total revenue that is directly attributed to the visits coming from display advertising. It is pretty straightforward to calculate in e-commerce, but gets a little tricky when you have offline conversions. This is the revenue basically most probably for display advertising campaigns only. Revenue per visit shows the direct revenue achieved per visit originating from the display advertising. It is calculated as revenue generated from ads divided by the total visits. Revenue per page. This is useful for ad-supported business models. This is sometimes expressed as RPM, which is revenue per 1,000 number of impressions of ads, equal to the formula is basically the total ad revenue divided by number of page views, and for rating calculation multiplied by 1000. Whenever you say 1000 impressions, that means you would have to multiply it by 1000 basically. Now these were some terminologies which I explained you. Now explaining it further, let me tell you what is pay-per-click basically. Google's PPC ads are essentially a real-time auction in which you bid on searches with the keywords you want your ad to appear for. When a keyword you are bidding on a search, yours and competing companies' AdWords are displayed in the ad positions. You might have seen, like whenever you are typing something in Google, you might have seen at top position if the 3 ads are coming, and right hand side 8 ads are coming over there. Some highlighted colors are also over there, light orange color or light green color. Previously it was light orange color. Nowadays Google have changed the color basically of the Google AdWords. So those are the sponsored pay-per-click ads. Your competitors are also shown over there. So they might have also achieved the positions for the queries which the customers are typing in Google search. And your target, your goal is basically to hit mark your competitors and go ahead with their strategies and show your ads position in the top, beating all your competitors. This is what the funda of Google PPC is at. The order of that display, the ranking, is decided by who bids the most and who has the ad copy and landing page that is most relevant to the keyword being searched with. When your ad is clicked, you pay the amount you bid. Definitely it's been. For example, abctravels.in might bid rupees 3 on keywords like northeast vacations and vacation rentals northeast. If 100 people click on their ads following relevant searches, then they would pay Google rupees 300. That means 100 into 3. What does this mean? Like 100 people click on your ad and per click it was 3 rupees. So definitely the total costing, it would be 300 rupees only. 100 into 3. So per click, the total count for a particular campaign or a keyword would be counted. How many clicks are happening, and per click how much costing it would be. The main PPC platforms. We are discussing the big four. AdWords is a keyword driven platform that serves ads on Google search results and their partner networks. This platform has the ability to choose between multiple ad types and delivery methods, such as text ads for a sponsored search or text or banner ads for the display networks. It's also got the majority of the market share at 67%, as Bing Ads at 28% only. So see how much the Google search results are relevant as compared with Bing ads. 67% is almost a display network ads of Google, and Bing ads are only at 28%. So you can advertise your Google AdWords campaign on your partner sites also and Google search results also, which is called Google Search Network. So today I told you like what is digital marketing, what are some well-known digital marketing channels, some examples of online digital content, why we should use digital marketing, scope of digital marketing. I given some scenario of graphs also to you. Any particular query or questions related to these topics?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I mean, it was good. I mean, nothing as such. I mean, no questions as such on a theoretical part. I mean, what I would like to know is that I mean, what practical exposure that would be getting throughout this course. I mean, as
Sure.
it was just being a demo session. I mean, I'm okay with the theoretical part that it contains, but these materials are already I mean freely available on internet, right? So I mean, what practical exposure we would be getting through this course, so that I mean we can think of enrolling into it.
Definitely, I would tell you basically this was the initial class of yours. This was the very first class for yours. So it is a very good thing that you are getting at least an introduction kind of thing what about the digital marketing. But in incoming future sessions, there is a lot of practical on projects. There is lot of practical knowledge also for overall digital marketing infrastructure points, which I told you. For AdWords, for analytics, for social media, a lot of things. Like you definitely in incoming sessions and classes, you would be knowing a lot of knowledge about digital marketing. But of course, this first class was to let you know about the introductory part of digital marketing. What is the scope and how you people are engaging with me and me being engaging with you to tell about the digital marketing. So any queries if you do have related introduction of digital media and the terms and terminologies which I told you, you can clearly and frankly ask to me. I'm here to guide you about. And for about practical, I would definitely be available in further sessions for that.
Yes, I mean, no questions for that. I mean, terminologies which you explained and everything. That is all clear on that part, I believe.
Okay. So, anything if you want to know about Google AdWords, or is it clear? Google AdWords.
No, I mean, the terminologies are clear. I mean, yes, but I mean, much can be done only by the practical. I mean, doing it practically. I mean, these keywords. I mean, those are hard to remember and those are hard to recognize. I mean, what is PPC or RPC or everything. Only the practical thing can would be able to explain.
Okay. Because that's the thing. Like a lot of people do say like only practical can do a better thing for a candidate. Digital marketing is such thing like where practicals are only the possible thing to make a candidate perfect. I can understand this thing, but let's have a first class to be a introduction kind of thing about the sessions,
Okay.
and second class, of course, like I would make it as a examples of full of examples of full of practical kind of things.
Okay,
Second
that would
class
be
you would
great then.
definitely, yeah, the second class you would definitely feel like you would be getting a lot of knowledge about digital, and of course if you are performing in your current company, or if you are thinking to perform in your future company for digital, you would be getting a lot of knowledge in terms of digital for that. May I know your name? Like, am I
Varun
talking to
here.
Varun? Yeah,
Varun
oh,
here.
Varun. I'm seeing here. Yeah, Varun is talking to me. Okay. So, Varun, are you currently working for a digital?
Uh,
Are you currently working for
no,
any kind of
I'm
digital
not
project?
at all any in the IT. I mean, I'm completely from a different domain. I mean, I'm an MBA
Okay.
finance.
So you are not
That's it.
working for any digital project. Fine.
Yes, I mean it's just because I'm developing my own website. I mean I'm MBA in finance guy, and I'm in a
Okay.
process to
So
start on my e-commerce. I mean website. I mean so before launching that site, I mean I would like to. I mean I wanted to get my hands clear on this digital marketing and everything. I mean it's just the thing. I mean
Exactly. So that is what my session was for those people only who don't know like what exactly digital marketing can do it. It's a great tool for you basically, Varun. Like let me tell you, like this session was basically to tell you the scope of digital marketing, how people are engaging with this digital marketing strategy. Because without that, you can't even proceed further. When you are not knowing the basics, when you don't know the base of a digital marketing, then it would be quite difficult for the candidates to proceed further. So, anyways, like I would try to make it a crispy kind of thing for you, for a lot of
for the
examples.
non-technical background guy, I can understand. I mean
Yeah, definitely. I can understand. So what we do is like this introductory part tells you a lot of about digital infrastructure. So the very first class tells you about the digital infrastructure. So I suppose to say, Varun, like you are not having any kind of query related this first session. Fine.
yes, I mean no further questions on this thing.
Okay.
Actually, I can see Viresh has some doubt. I mean here.
Yeah. I'm seeing it, so I'm replying to him also.